It's been a few weeks since I opened up the hive. I'm approaching this year differently than last year because the hive was so weak to begin the year. My philosophy has been I just need to support this struggling colony and leave it alone as much as possible so that it doesn't get disrupted. It can just focus on building up brood and whatever it needs, as opposed to spending time recovering from me opening up the hive. That being said, I've done a few things. I have treated for mites, I have checked them once or twice, and I have kept them fed. It's now May 31st, and I think it's time to look in one more time, just see if they are recovering, if things are going better, and I hope they are. I'm gonna do something a little gutsy. I'm going in bare-handed. We'll see how it goes. I have my gloves just in case, but it's a whole lot easier to work without them. We'll try. First impressions. There's a decent amount of activity in and out of the hive, so especially given the time of day. So we'll just crack this open, see how they're doing. Okay, so I've pulled off the cover on the feeder. I'm just going to smoke these girls out of here, and then I'm going to look at how the feeder's been used. Okay, let's just see here what it looks like. Well, they have definitely sucked up all of the syrup. That's pretty well completely empty, so that's good. We'll now put the camera down and we'll look into the next box. I've pulled off the inner cover, and right off the bat, this is a much healthier hive than it was the last time I opened this up. Lots of bees on the cover, and that's great. So let's take a peek in here. I'm just going to set this down here to the side. And now we'll just take a peek down in here. But you see, last time I opened this up, pretty much all the activity was generalized right here. There weren't any bees down this way or up in this corner. But if we look now, down here, towards this side of the hive, pretty much they're all lining up. Lots of stuff going on from what I can see in all of the hive frames, at least in this upper body. So that's good. This is a much happier colony. This is the very first frame. So this, what you're looking at right now, is what is right against the interior wood of the box. Now if you look in there, I'm hoping that I can get this to focus, but if you look in even these open cells, let's see if I can focus, down in there, you can see in the bottom a larva in almost every single one of these open cells. And maybe the light's just not right, but that means the queen was here recently and laying just gangbusters. And then we've got over here, this right here is some capped brood right in through here. So that's more mature larvae. So they're growing. The colony is expanding. Wow, this is the third frame in, and look at all that capped brood. All brand new babies. This far, I mean, to this, almost to the outside of the hive. She's laid that many in the last few weeks. So this is what I was hoping to see. I finished up going through all of these frames in the top box, this top box, and I couldn't really be happier. I didn't see the queen, but I don't really care about that. She's definitely here because if looking at this, there's brood on this frame, this frame, this frame, this frame, this frame, this frame, this frame. No brood here, no brood here, no brood here. So 7 out of 10 frames have good amounts of brood. Probably the best frame is the one that I showed you earlier, this 3rd frame. Just really nicely compact and tight brood development. So I am now going to take this box off. I just want to peek and see if they've started doing anything in all that extra room down there in the 2nd box. Well, looky here. Bottom box is even full of bees. Now I don't anticipate quite as much down here, but good night. Their population has exploded and they're using this bottom box. I gotta just quickly peek through some of these frames and just see if I even need to put a super on just to give them more room. Okay, as I suspected, there's really nothing going on in here. All of those frames already have drawn comb on them, but there's nothing there, and that comb comes from last year. It's just left over, so that, you know, they have it. There's nothing being stored down there, no babies anywhere, no honey, no nothing. But the bees are inhabiting the space, and because that first box right there is so full, I anticipate that in a couple weeks, they're gonna move down here, and there will be brood and everything going on down here as well. So I really couldn't be happier with how things have gone, particularly in light of how the year started. So here's my final analysis and thoughts on that check. Overall, just a wonderful, wonderful check. The bees look healthy, happy, they're growing, they're filling up the space. And that's what I wanted to see. I didn't see the queen, but I don't usually see the queen. And I don't really care as long as there are signs of healthy growth. And there are just tons of babies growing in that hive. So I really couldn't be happier. I'll probably give them another 2-3 weeks before I crack it open again, just to let them do what they're doing. I think my plan so far at least hasn't hurt them, and hopefully it's helped them, to give them support and just leave them alone. They're doing what they do. And maybe, you know, probably, you know, in 3 weeks I'll do a mite count. I think that's my next step, just to really stay on top of that this year and make sure that I can get these girls through to this coming winter with survivable mite counts. Anyway, I'm happy. Oh, and I did it without the gloves.